Supreme Fall Winter 2020 is finally upon us. We have the first in-store drop this upcoming Thursday, August 20th, and then online will follow either next Monday or Thursday. They've been switching it up, but the dates will be either August 24th or 27th for that week 1 online drop. Before we get into it though, if you guys do enjoy this type of content, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below, and if you do end up liking the video, also hit that thumbs up. Helps me know that you guys are out there watching and enjoy it. But without further ado, let's get into this season because this is a big range and it's going to be a long video. We got the King hooded varsity jacket. I'm not crazy about this piece for a number of reasons. At first glance, I figured it'd say like "In Supreme We Trust," but when you flop it around, it's just "In God We Trust." You get that 2020 graphic or spell out as well. And then the main issue that I have with this piece is that Supreme arc. I don't really have any problems with the actual ARC logo that they've done like a number of times, but what I don't care for is all the periods, especially in the center. It looks really cluttered, and then on that far right E, you have the trailing period, which just makes it look really off-center. But as far as the piece goes, you know, here are the other images of it, and then you get the "In God We Trust." The King hooded varsity jacket, you get the King on the back, which I feel is a little tacky. 2020, you get the 20 for that reason. I do like this colorway though, but as far as the piece goes, just a pass for me. But that white and red colorway, I wouldn't shame you if you do enjoy that one. Moving forward, we have the Globe MA1 nylon bomber, and I'm usually not a big fan of embroidery on nylon just because of how it kind of like pinches the fabric usually. But as far as the embroidery does go, I like the graphics that they used. You have like the earth, or a globe, if you will, I suppose. Then a lot of like neon advertisement, a lot of like kanji, it looks like. But interesting piece. Flop it around, and it's just a very basic bomber on the front. You get a small box logo, classic bomber colorways. You got that like army green, and then the blaze orange inner, and then you also have that coming in a black colorway. But not a bad piece, but a pass for me. We also have these Gore-Tex 700 filled down parkas coming in a crazy cheetah or leopard print. I'm always bad with what colorway that is. Kind of interesting, or the interesting part about this piece is the branding on the back. We have a Supreme spell out, of course, but the sup is highlighted or bolded, I suppose, and then the ream, the latter half of the spell out, is very narrow, and I'm not sure if we've seen them use this spell out before, or this like specific font for the spell out. I know they've done kind of like highlighted sups before, of course, but not really feeling this piece. I guess I do appreciate that they went with like subtle colors for the spell out at least. I think that's kind of cool, but yeah, a pass for me once again. Moving on, we have this faux fur reversible hooded jacket, which we actually saw on the season teaser. I do like this colorway. I like the embroidery that they have on the back. I do believe that's embroidery anyway. Moving on, I don't really care for the reversed version, or the reversible, the other side that you can wear. I don't really care for that, and I don't really care for that colorway, that second like brownish colorway. We also have the Supreme Vanson leathers. Vanson is somebody Supreme collaborates with like every season. I think they've done a lot better jackets. I want to say they did like a skeletal like motorcycle like crotch rocket racing one, which I thought was a lot cooler than this. This is going to be a very expensive leather piece, and all you're like paying for is that Supreme logo. Obviously nice quality, but you could probably get a bomber, or not a bomber, but a worn leather jacket similar to this for a much cheaper price. Moving forward, we get some more puffers. If you guys follow the channel, you know I'm not crazy about puffers. This is using the reflective speckled pattern that we'll see across a lot of pieces. They have like 3M speckle in the pattern, so all those speckles will glow when you shine light on it. And then we also have the branding. Makes use of what looks to be an either like embroidered or like debossed or embossed or whatever box logo. Kind of looks like it might be embroidered around the outside and then debossed or embossed for the center, which I think is kind of cool. Obviously something you can utilize with the puffer. You have such a great like depth of material, so it makes sense to use. But I like that aspect, but puffers are always passes for me, so that's a no for me, dog. Moving forward, we have a Fox collaboration from Supreme and Fox Racing for this season. Somebody they've been collaborating with a lot recently. we have just the big fox graphic there. I mean, you guys can see it. I'm not crazy about the color blocking that they've done. I think they've done a lot better or more interesting color blocked pieces, or just designs in general, really, when it comes to their racewear pieces. That being said, I do kind of side with this colorway, though. They've always kind of produced interesting colorways from it, and I do like that kind of magenta and yellow colorway, but not really feeling the other ones. So moving forward, we have this another collaboration of sorts, Supreme and Toshio Saki. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the last name, but you have a bunch of patches sewn on this work jacket, and you're going to see this on a bunch of other silhouettes as well. This design almost looks like it's either like some Indian or like Japanese religious pieces, or maybe it's just depicting some older times for sure. You have some nudity on this as well, but an interesting piece. You don't see Supreme doing a lot of like cut and sew like this, so it's kind of cool to see them do this from time to time. Moving forward, we have these overdyed twill hooded jackets. Pretty basic piece, tonal spello across the chest, kind of spaced out a little bit, and we will see some crew necks, I believe, later that kind of follow the same suit there. And now we have the first Smurfs collaborative piece, and this is on a Gore-Tex jacket, gonna be expensive. And obviously we have all the Smurfs here. You got Supreme branding on the chest, you got some Smurfs on the hood as well. But my issue with this is the colorways. Like, none of these colorways really, I guess, make sense for the Smurfs. Maybe this, I mean, this black one is fine, but camo and just this blaze green yellow color just don't really go together, in my opinion, with the Smurfs. Next up, we have our denim jacket for the season, the Black Arc denim trucker jacket. We always get this kind of trucker jacket, and they'll switch up the patterns. This kind of looks like somebody wrote all over it with one of those flat-tipped Sharpies, and not exactly what everything says. We have Supreme here and there. You got Boom on the back here in the center. Kind of a cool piece. A pass for me. I think they've definitely done a lot better denim jackets in the past, though that yellow one is kind of an interesting one. Before we get too far into that, we'll move forward with some more puffer jackets. You got the hooded down jacket, which has a Supreme spello across the side. We'll see a lot of pieces actually using this, and once again, we're kind of using that tonal color against it. We have the Supreme Receipts colorway, which we'll see on a piece later that we'll talk a little bit more about. And you know, I'm always hating on puffer jackets, but I can respect this one because it is a packable jacket, which I always thought was pretty cool when the jackets are made packable so they can pack into themselves. Kind of another interesting piece we have here, the reversible color blocked fleece jacket. I want to say it's the Monkeys who kind of had this similar paint job on their car, I believe it was, but interesting color blocking. Reminds me a lot of a piece that Palace did, I want to say 2 seasons ago, and I much prefer that piece. It was a crew neck, I believe, instead of a fleece jacket. I think it just translates a little bit better onto that. Maybe a couple too many box logos on this as well. We could have done with just the one on the chest, I think. Moving on, though, we have, or I guess it shows the reversed option, which I think is not bad at all. You know, a lot quieter. It's kind of cool. You get the loud version, and then you can flop it and you get the quiet one. It's always a nice thing. This colorway is also pretty interesting as well, though just, I guess, the paneling or the color blocking that they have is not really for me. Moving forward, we have some marble pieces, which I like the idea of marble. I'm just not crazy about how they executed it. You also have this Supreme spello, I believe it is, kind of like meshed in with the marble. I'm not crazy about that either. It's just kind of like faded in with it, but not feeling that. That's a pass for me. Moving forward, we have the piping track jacket. Once again, the colorways are kind of ruining it for me. We have this all black colorway here, though, which is kind of fine. Don't really mind that one. We have this Watches reversible puffy jacket, and at first I was like, or I guess, you know, it doesn't really make sense for them to use watches for this when the watches are kind of done in this blurred motion. I think they should have gone with maybe something like a tachometer from like a car, which would make a little bit more sense. You know, you move fast, you get the motion blur. You know, I guess, you know, if you're looking at your watch and your arm's shaking or something, but yeah, you just got Supreme watch face, and then it's blurred, and not feeling the colorways for this. There's the reversed option, and you have this kind of like strokes, this is it colorway, almost very reminiscent of that. And then you have this red on white, which I really don't care for, the reversed option for that. Once again, we have this puffed like pullover. I guess they're calling it the micro down half zip hooded pullover. It's a mouthful for sure. We have this cool colorway though. I like this like outdoors. It's almost like a fall or a winter scene. It looks like maybe more towards fall. Kind of hard to tell if the white lower part is snow or not, but I do like this. I like this pattern, this all over print that they used for this, and we will see it on some other pieces as well. Other than that, you know, I don't see this piece as being very redeeming. I've never really felt these jackets. It's not a vibe for me. Moving forward, we have the Ariel Tapestry Harrington jacket. A lot of people like the tapestry stuff just because it's an interesting style, or you know, the cotton blend, the woven graphic, as they say. It looks pretty cool. You know, the tapestry is kind of an interesting fabric, but this shot is actually from a video that Supreme posted I want to say maybe a week or two ago, where they hired a plane to fly their flag over New York City. Got a bunch of iconic photos out of that, and we'll see them on a plethora of pieces. But you know, this, it just doesn't do a whole lot for me. I'm sure if I had some ties to New York City, like if I was from there especially, you know, maybe it would mean a little bit more to me, but I've never been there. I don't have anything connected me to it. And another thing I don't really care for is how they have just the same graphic on the back. It would have been kind of cool to wrap it all around, so you get like this like full view of it. But yeah. And then we have the velvet work jacket, which I do appreciate the velvet. This looks like a very comfortable piece, but the pockets are just a little too strange for me. How they angle, like especially that top pocket, just like goes up and then angles over. It's a little too jarring for me. But I do like this checkered colorway. This checkered colorway is cool, and then you get that little like yellow tab accenting the bottom. I think is a cool touch. This is a design or a pattern that I can't get behind. The penguins pattern. This comes on a couple different pieces. Not kind of a lame spell out too, in my opinion. You got in red and then also in a black colorway. Moving forward, we have this. I mean, this just looks like trash to me. This looks terrible. Supreme New York. This looks like some like bootleg, like fake stuff that they'd come up with. This colorway is a little redeeming, but everything else about this graphic is trash, or this piece, I suppose. Moving forward, we have the Chains quilted jacket, and I do really like their quilted jackets as just a blank, I suppose. The collar has a very nice thick corduroy. Kind of interesting about this piece, they have a bunch of old Supreme accessories, like the bolt cutters, I think they are, and then like one of the knives. Like we've seen Supreme drop this stuff, so it's kind of cool that they threw it in there. But I'm never really crazy about the like Versace or yeah, I guess it's Versace with like the gold like wrapping around it. I've never been too into those designs, though I will say it does pop really well against the white background. I do like this piece, but not for me, but something I can definitely respect. We have the Houndstooth logo snap front jacket, which has like an all over either small houndstooth, I guess it's called, or like plaid pattern, and then Supreme spelled out literally everywhere in the houndstooth pattern, a little bit bigger, or just houndstooth, which is this hurts to look at, so I'm going to move forward. I don't like it. I don't like these colorways either. It's a bad piece in my opinion. Next up, we have another Smurfs piece, the denim trucker jacket, which I think this was shown off in one of the earlier like teases or whatever. It's kind of cool. If you will notice the detailing, we have the big like panel with the Smurfs color or whatever, but a lot of the details are accented by embroidery. It's maybe a little bit hard for you guys to tell, but I think that's a really cool touch. I think this is a cool piece. Comes in two different colorways. You also have this black colorway, and then of course you have Supreme on the front and the back in that like Smurfs font that they did, which I think is a cool spell out. We're gonna get those pants too that we will see later. Moving forward, we got this like Minecraft block camo. This comes in a couple different colorways. Something I will say is, I respect the utilitarian jackets with the pockets and stuff, but this just looks really strange with the like lack of symmetry that they're going for. You have this like bulging pouch on your what would be your right side, and then your left side you have this like flat pocketed pouch. But maybe that's just because it does pack into itself. Once again, we have the packed version down there on the right side. Moving forward, we have, or I guess those are also hooded too. We didn't get a hooded image for those colorways though. We also have the Tartan flannel cargo vest. They have some very strange vests this season. We have this flannel vest, which I guess this colorway is all right, but I don't see a need for these. Moving forward, a piece that I do like, the Script Logos wool overcoat. I'm usually a big fan of their overcoats just because they go for like usually more subtle designs, I think. And obviously this is an all over spell out, but I think the colorways that they chose, we have this like brown with the like either darker brown or black like writing all over it, and then we also have a black and red version, which I think is also kind of quiet. Cool pieces for sure. I do enjoy those. Moving forward, we get the leather collar work jacket, which at first glance I was like, oh, this is a cool piece. But then I was like, wait, hold up, leather collar? I would have much preferred this with a corduroy collar. Leather collar isn't the most comfortable material. And then upon even further inspection, the beautiful floral print is kind of done in a like digital, they call it a digi floral pattern later. We'll see used again. So it's kind of pixelated. And I think, a design like this would be really nice if it was a little bit more detailed. So I think that also takes away from it. But, I see a lot of potential for that piece, but I just don't really care for the execution. I will say this black colorway, though, definitely like fits that work jacket vibe. Like that looks like a really clean work jacket. Next up, we have this, I guess, collaboration of sorts between Supreme and Refrigerator. It's their insulated iron tough jacket. Big hunting vibes, obviously. You have this blaze orange camo, and I'm not crazy about the Refrigerator spell out. I don't like it against the like camo. You kind of get these conflicting vibes of like hunting, and then it's also almost like a like graffiti type logo or like a tag type logo, and then you have this dog on the back holding up a I suppose Refrigerator take on the box logo. So kind of interesting. Really hate this teal color, and also the black color just looks weird when you can see the kind of like paneling or detailing. I don't really dig that. And then you have the vests that match it as well. This time, instead of the big box logo holding dog, you just get them on the chest in a little patch. So moving forward, we get these Tlaxcala blanket jackets, which obviously very reminiscent of the like Navajo pattern blankets you would see. We just saw Kith drop a bunch of stuff like this for their Coca-Cola collaboration. But that being said, I've never really been into that style of blanket or pieces, so pass for me. We also have these contrast script varsity jackets, which I don't like that colorway. We have a black colorway. Yes, this one is not that bad, but still a pass for me. And then I think this last colorway is absolute garbage. It's ridiculous. The branding that just kind of gave up and fell off there. We have the Curve logo ripstop jacket, which I guess is kind of interesting or kind of a fun approach to the branding, but not really digging it. The Digifloral corduroy shirt, which is what I was talking about before, we have that floral print, but it's digital, so it's kind of like pixelated. Very interesting that they went with corduroy for this. I think it adds a cool aspect to it, and I'm not exactly sure how it will look in person, if the corduroy will change it up too much, but I really do like this colorway that we have in the front. This like purple hued one, I like that a lot. Moving forward, we have this dog collar one where I think it's kind of interesting. You have the Supreme branding on the inside of the dog collar, it looks like. So I thought that was kind of cool. But as far as rayons go, I think you have a lot better ones. You have the tartan flannel shirt, not really good patterns that time. And this is the rayon I was talking about, this blowback rayon short sleeve shirt coming in a beautiful yellow to blue colorway. We have two faces, which it looks like they're blowing smoke out of their mouths, or just kind of like letting it seep out. And then the higher mouth is spelling supreme with the smoke in the air. So a really cool piece, I think. I think it looks pretty cool. And I guess I would have maybe liked to see a different colorway, or like a different shade that goes into the blue, maybe like a light pink or something that goes into like a bluish purple would have been cool to see, especially over this black and red one. I don't think is very interesting. We have this logo striped jacquard denim shirt, which I swear we've seen this exact one before. It could not have been that much different that they did. We got the chains rayon, which just follows the chain jacket that we saw before. I will say the rayon is maybe a little bit more appealing to me. The jacquard stripe twill shirt, which looks like we have some type of pattern. I'm not exactly sure if it does say Supreme or not, but it comes in a plethora of colorways. You got the marble silk t-shirt. Once again, I wasn't really feeling any of that silk stuff. Patchwork Oxford shirt, go for a different shirt. Like, you can get a cheaper one that looks the same. Perspective rayon, I don't really dig this. You got this like triangular Supreme spell out, and then it's just flopped to make this like honeycomb pattern going all the way around. Just not digging it. Neither of the colorways really do much for me. Classic logo denim shirt. It's a very basic piece. Once again, I swear we've seen this before. Maybe the other one we saw just had a pocket, but not bad colorways. The penguins rayon, I'm not feeling the penguins colorways, though. I will say the rayon is a lot more preferable than the jacket that we saw. Quilted flannel shirt. I think this one had a lot of potential, though I don't care for the pattern that they use, and then also the spell out across the back is just not doing much for me. This is an embroidered logo, which is kind of cool. Usually when we see flannels like this, it'll just be like a screen printed version of the logo. But the issue I have with this is maybe the Old English wasn't the style to go for, and then it also looks like they made it italic or italicized, where I would have just preferred the original version. But like I said, the colorways just don't really do much. You have a snakeskin corduroy zip-up shirt, kind of interesting blend of snakeskin and corduroy, I thought. The twill multi-pocket shirt, interesting utilitarian approach there. Can't say I dig the patterns that much. The black colorway is all right, though. The black arc rayon shirt, once again, just getting that that graphic that we saw on the denim jacket there. The shadow plaid fleece shirt. I wish we would have gotten this flannel, these flannel colorways or patterns used on the other one. I think these ones are a lot better, but as far as branding goes, all you have is that little tag there. Moving forward, we have the receipts rayon, which I said we'd see this later, and this is actually something we saw just a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, from Antisocial, maybe a month or so. But Antisocial actually had the exact same idea, though instead of just like a stacked or layered version of receipts, they actually just did like vertical, like blocking of full receipts. It was very kind of organized, whereas this one is a lot more messy. I do like this messy approach to it a lot more, though I can't say I really dig it that much. Maybe it'd be interesting to see or like read the receipts. I'm sure they have a couple like interesting details hidden in there. As far as the colorways go, I don't think there's any need to add any other colorway than that black and white one. We have the two-tone work shirt, which I'm not a fan of the spell out there. I think it's I don't know, it just looks strange. Not even going to talk about that. That's disgusting. The logo taping work shirt, flop it over on the back, and you have the logo taping that they're talking about, which is kind of weird against some of the colorways. Obviously, it works better on some than others, like the black one. The compact dot rayon shirt, you got a bunch of compact dots. A little jarring to look at on a computer screen. It might be better in person, though. Hooded shadow plaid shirt, which, buttons up, I suppose. So it's a shirt, and I'm not liking this. Got the studded patchwork shirt. They've done very similar pieces to this, like their Hysteric Glamour collaboration was very similar to this. I don't like the studded aspect of it, though. Finally, we have the Smurfs knit sweater, which is a piece I've seen a lot of hype and love for, though I myself, I'm not crazy about it. I wish they did the background colors a little bit different. It doesn't really seem like there was any thought that went into the background colors, since they are so random. They don't really tie into the front and center design that much, so I think it's a little jarring, I suppose. But one thing I did appreciate was you swap the colorways and you actually get a different graphic or a different like image entirely. Though it is very similar, it is a different stance and attitude all around. So I thought that was kind of cool. Moving forward, the crochet hooded zip-up sweater, which on here I don't think looks very good. I did see a lookbook picture, however, and I thought it looked a lot better, though definitely not something I'm very into. Got that coming in 2 different colorways. And then you also have the brushed plaid sweater, which looks uncomfortable to wear. I'm not really digging that. Moving on, we have the kind of like take on the love sign, which I don't know, if you're trying to be super edgy, you can wear this. Next up, we have the static sweater. I do kind of like this multicolor, kind of like horizontal Coogie sweater take. I think it's kind of cool, but I'm not crazy about this colorway of it. It just reminds me of like some heather type piece, but not digging that colorway. The Chulo Windstopper zip-up sweater, kind of interesting piece. It is a gore windstopper, or has a gore windstopper lining, so it's kind of interesting. But as far as the design goes, I'm not crazy about it. I do kind of like that says Windstopper on it instead of like just Supreme all over, but yeah, a pass for me. The brushed mohair cardigan, which I think people like these mohair ones. They're kind of cool pieces. Big in the grunge scene, I think, from like Kurt Cobain was rocking these. But you get cool colorways from this season's mohair cardigans. Kind of this like tiger one. You also got black one, very like grungy, and then a purple one. So all of them work in my opinion. I don't think any of them are bad. You have the checkerboard zip-up sweater, which is a wool blend, kind of cool detailing. You get the checkered detailing, not bad colorways either, and cool pockets. The stonewash sweater, which is what I was talking about earlier when we saw, I believe it was the like hooded anorak that had a very similar like wash, and then also spaced out spell out, which I think this is a cool piece, pretty basic. It does say that it's wool, so it's a little interesting. You have the textured small box sweater. This is another knit, which once again might be a little hard for you guys to see, but on the bottom right you will see a Supreme spell out, which, looking at the chest, I wish they would have just removed that small box logo. I think it's a little redundant to have all that. And all the colorways, have the red one except for this black one, which I think is probably my favorite, just because you have the black little box logo, so it doesn't stand out as much. But I think that's something they could have done without, for sure, in that piece. Moving on, we have this patchwork velour long sleeve polo, which I despise the colors that they used for this. And then the other one, I don't know, man, I'm not digging that at all. Next up, we have this textured striped crew neck, which comes in this Gryffindor colorway right here. It says like Supreme, established 1994, I believe. And I do like the striping on this one. I like that colorway specifically. Can't say I'm really feeling any of the other ones. With the world class long sleeve top, has like, I don't know, looks like a Supreme ad, but zoomed in, blown up to astronomical proportions where you can't even really read anything. All the words are, obviously you can decipher it, but it's very zoomed in. The plaid zip up, disgusting colorways. Stay positive. We're gonna see this stay positive stuff on a lot of pieces. I don't know if you guys can vibe with that. I don't care. Striped velour half zip pullover. I like the velour, but not feeling those stripes. Woven label. We have like a Everlast take on the Supreme logo. All right, the Sadi Unity striped short sleeve tee. Get some what appears to be embroidered detailing in the center. And then some stripes. Not crazy about the stripes. I don't care about contrast stitching. This is kind of an interesting piece. The cutout sleeves, long sleeve top. You have surrounding the elbows, it looks like they took like just a Supreme spell out with that USA underneath it, and then split it between each of the sleeves. So on one sleeve you have Super, and then on the other you have Eam, and then on one you have Us, and then on the other you have So Kind of interesting piece, though. I'm not crazy about the thin stripe polo, just pretty plain polo that don't care for. The multicolored logo long sleeve top. This is one that I think has a lot of potential, but I don't care for how they multi-branded it. They put the same exact logo on the sleeve as well. This, I think they could have put like the year on the sleeve or something. That would have looked a lot cooler, you know. Follow that multicolor approach that you're doing and put like established 1994 or something, you know. That's the same amount of characters as Supreme, so you could even follow the same color scheme. But instead they just stamped it twice, which I think is lazy. Though I do like the colors on that white one and then the black one as well. I thought those were kind of cool. Then we have the washed short sleeve tee. My bad. Not feeling that at all. Pretty basic piece. This is not a basic piece, however. We have the Dragon hockey jersey, which I think is a crazy piece. They most likely took this dragon from somewhere. A lot of the times they'll like reference pieces like this and just add like a little twist on it. But this is a wild piece. I really wish instead of the V-neck they had a crew neck. I think that'd be a little more appealing to me. But this comes in this green colorway and then also a crazy red colorway as well. I kind of wish we had like a little more interesting of a Supreme branding, but nonetheless a ridiculously wild piece. We have the velour baseball jersey. Not feeling this colorway. Of course, you know, the black one's not that bad. The tiger embroidered baseball jersey, not digging this at all. This football jersey I'm not even going to talk about. Color block solo soccer polo, not digging that at all. The micro stripe long sleeve top. Interesting colorway, almost reminds me of like some Teddy Fresh stuff, but I do like how they did the stripes on the collar. I think that's kind of a cool adds like kind of a cool break in the stripe patterns that we see. Then also in the center it kind of breaks around the branding as well. Good colorways, kind of a subtle piece. You have this kind of like what the Supreme spell out shirt where it uses a bunch of different Supreme letters or letters from Supreme logos. The U even looks like it's from the ARC logo, so it's kind of like arcing up. But this looks like it has a variety of different materials used. Looks like you probably got like some screen printing. Even have a channel patch and then a lot of embroidery as well. Not necessarily a piece I like, though it is kind of a fun piece. The dyed basketball jersey, which honestly looks like a plain like tank top, but you have the scattered logo where you got the Supreme logo kind of falling apart. Not really digging it, though the embroidery does look kind of nice on it. Comes in several colorways. You have the Supreme Everlast logo big up again. Not really digging that. World Class 64 or 94, my bad. The best of the best hooded long sleeve shirt. This is a hooded shirt, which, you know, kind of interesting. Don't see too many of those. Shoulder arc short sleeve top. Not really digging that font. I've never really been a fan of that font. Get this digi floral pattern again. And then we'll have to move forward to this all over print. You get the street scene jacquard, and kind of similar to what I said about the last, like the flying over New York one. This is a New York based design. It says New York drugs, but it has Supreme. And you know, it just doesn't do too much for me. I think they've done a lot worse all over prints similar to this, but just not for me, man. Comes in a green colorway, which I definitely prefer the other one. Next up, we have this bobsled long sleeve top, and this is one of my favorite pieces. I really enjoy this piece. I think this is really cool. Just got a bobsled zooming by, and then I think the colorways work amazingly with this. You also have a black colorway, which is, you know, this whole piece is kind of like washed or like beat, kind of look, has this vintage look, and then also the blue colorway matches the helmets. I really love this piece. I think this is a very cool piece. Moving forward, we get that perspective one, and then we get to another one of my favorite pieces, the bleed logo. I think this one is, once again, so cool. You have the Supreme big spell out, and then it bleeds down the whole shirt. Almost similar to the Motion logo, but a vertical version instead of the horizontal. I think this is very cool. And then following suit with a lot of the Supreme Motion logo ones we have similar colorways here for the bleed one. We get purple and white, black and white, which I don't really care for the black and white, but I think every other colorway is a banger. yeah, this and the bobsled, my top two pieces for sure. Moving forward, we have the plaid applique short sleeve top. Kind of looks like some knockoff Supreme, honestly. I'm not digging it, especially that heather colorway. The striped, or that heather blank, the stripe applique short sleeve top. I do like this. I like the colorway used, though I'm not crazy about the font. So pass for me. A lamp using like a Dare font. You got the Interstate Waffle Thermal, a bunch of Interstate signs. They've done some Interstate stuff before. I do like this orange colorway, I will say. The Bullion logo, which just has a Supreme embroidery logo in gold. I guess my gold bullion. Guess that's what they're going for. You have the ancient short sleeve top, which has all these different, like, almost like calligraphy. It looks like, kind of looks like they're going for that Egyptian look with it, but it spells out Supreme, obviously. Not crazy about that though. The oval logo, pretty quiet piece. You got this like Minecraft camo once again. We get the short sleeve pocket tee, which uses that woodland scene that we saw earlier. It honestly just looks like it's like low quality. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's all right here. We see some pants later that I think have probably the most potential with that that all over print. You got the Big Stitch hooded sweatshirt, which has contrast stitching. Pass for me. And we have the cross box logo, the cross BOGO, which a lot of people were, comparing this to Ass Pizza. I think Ass Pizza got his fame, or kind of blew up when he did I want to say there were 3 stacked box logos that he put on a sweatshirt. And obviously, this is like a little cut and sewn action reminiscent of that. But as you can see, we have a cross instead. I think this is an alright box logo. The tonal colorways are really cool. I do appreciate that. I've always been a fan of that. And every now and then we'll get like kind of like a stinker colorway for the box logos. But I think all of these work. So regardless of what you think of the design, I think the colorways are pretty good for this one. Moving forward, we got the Smurfs hooded sweatshirt. You got the Supreme spell on the chest, and then on the back you have this embroidered Smurfs logo. Very quiet since it's the same color, and you got that coming on several different colorways. The Shop hooded sweatshirt. I don't like this big bar that they have across. Not a fan of that. Another one of these Toshio pieces, this time on a hoodie. We got the Ariel crew neck, which uses that Supreme flag flying over New York. The studded collars hooded sweatshirt, which we saw this on that rayon. I do kind of like it in this washed style a little bit more though. I think it fits the grunge feel of it even more. The Icy Arc hooded sweatshirt. We've seen the Arc logo before. Going into the fall winter season, we have this icy take on it, so kind of interesting. The LSD Spells hooded sweatshirt, which is a wild piece. Has like a lot of cut and sewn vibes about it, though it is just one solid pattern, I would imagine, and or one solid fabric piece. But yeah, interesting stuff going on here. I'm not exactly sure what this is referencing. I guess LSD Spells, probably referencing some artist who like drew this when he was on LSD or something. But yeah, the Pharaoh studded hooded sweatshirt. You get a big Pharaoh on the back, and then Supreme. Not exactly sure why this needed to happen. I don't know. Moving on, we have the S logo hooded sweatshirt. The S logo, also kind of a classic hoodie that they do. And this time around, we have the S made up of a bunch of different little box logos, or I guess a bunch of box logos. They're all the same box logo, of course. But yeah, kind of a cool one. And I think all of them are going to have this red S, which is, kind of disappointing. But yeah, it would have been kind of cool if they'd swap up the box logo for the colorways. Maybe if they did, a different box logo for the colorways to match it would be kind of fun. The Jewels hooded sweatshirt. You got a Supreme filled with a bunch of jewels. I believe the jewels ones are kind of like a Candy Crush design almost. You got the Globe, the embroidered bomber we saw before, put on the hood, which I really despise. The anti-hooded sweatshirt where it says anti-everything, kind of tacky in my opinion. Though this orange colorway is kind of cool. You have the black arc hooded sweatshirt. You know, we've seen this black arc stuff before. The pearl hooded sweatshirt, which literally just takes the portrait of the girl with the pearl earring and puts Supreme underneath it, which I think's lazy. But yeah, moving on, the spray hooded sweatshirt. I think this looks like trash. Looks like a very dirty sweatshirt. The Enterprises hooded sweatshirt, I do like this, and they actually changed that spell out with the colorways. Like this one, you have kind of all a like skin tone arrangement of colors used to make that logo up, which I think is kind of cool. Though I would much more prefer on a t-shirt rather than a hoodie. But yeah, the micro logo, you just got this vertical Supreme spell out, really small and embroidered on the chest. I said this earlier that they had some weird vests. You have the sweat vest, so it's like a sweatshirt material turned into a vest. It's like, I don't know, strange, like a cotton vest. The Windstopper zip-up hooded sweatshirt using the Gore Windstopper material looks strange. It looks like fake in that color, that camo colorway almost. It looks fake. And then moving on, I think we get some tees, I believe, maybe. Where were we? Oh no, next one will be tees. We got the big logo paneled zip-up hooded sweatshirt in this Gucci colorway. I wish it wasn't a zip-up, so we didn't have that like white bar cutting through it. You have the portrait hooded sweatshirt, which I think is kind of cool. It's a take on the Marlboro Man, but this time he's wearing the Supreme trucker hat, which once again I'd rather see on a t-shirt than a hoodie, but whatever. They don't listen to me. Big arc crew neck. You have a bunch of different colored Supreme letters using the channel applique logos. I wish it wasn't multicolor, but my wish is granted on some of the other colorways. You know, obviously same color. Patrick hooded sweatshirt. I don't like this colorway, though I think it works better with this like pink and purple colorway, though the actual spello I'm still not a fan of. The Futura logo, which was something that was kind of hyped up leading into the season. You know, we've had this Futura logo or a Futura collaboration of sorts done before, and you know, kind of like similar to the box logo. Interesting colorways. We get like a green and yellow. We also have this like chocolate chip camo. Speaking about chocolate chip camo, or this like chocolate camo, we have this rib hooded sweatshirt, which I do not care for the hood branding on it. The overprint crew neck. I really hate how you can see the back is just like one solid color. I think that's so tacky. The piece hooded sweatshirt reminds me a lot of like some Life of Pablo stuff, especially on like this orange colorway, and then also like the black colorway. But interesting piece, not bad. We have the hooded hockey sweatshirt, which you know, I think they could have done a little bit more with that. The blocks hooded sweatshirt, which is looking like some Candy Crush, very tacky. We get this logo that I said I hated. The small box face mask zip up. I actually missed that there was a face mask in this last time around. Very interesting, but a pass. We have this channel applique hooded sweatshirt, which is very reminiscent of the Supreme Spitfire collaboration they had 2 or 3 years ago, where they have this kind of like radiating circular logo, though I like that one a lot more. The Big S hooded sweatshirt, I kind of wish that they just had the S, or you know, got rid of the center branding. I do think this this blue and orange colorway is interesting, and at least you know, with that branding as well, actually everything but the brown one I think is kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. The drop shadow, you just have some like different colored drop shadow. Not really digging that. The hooded sweatshirt version of the Fox collaboration stuff we saw before. The magenta and gold colorway is alright, but still not feeling a lot of that stuff. Not digging this best of. Small box logo crew neck. Polotech hooded sweatshirt, kind of interesting silhouette. You get like a draw cord hood here. I believe they've used this camo before too, in a cool cream colorway with the red box logo, and then moves into the like pullover version of it. Let's see. Next up, we get into the pants, and just gonna breeze through these because a lot of the pants, honestly, you know, they just match the tops, so we're not really seeing anything new. Same patterns, just on pants this time around. I did miss the marble ones. I guess I can look at the marble ones for you. The first interesting ones we get are these like the Smurf ones, where We get the Smurf on the back pocket, and these are the Supreme pants that I prefer, where they get the sup like tab up there on the top. I do like those ones, probably the most of the Supreme pants. But I mean, as far as everything else goes, these are just the tops that or the bottoms for the tops we've been seeing. I don't really see any need to like go through all these, I guess. I will point out this though, the Polartec overalls, just because obviously being overalls are a little different from what we've been seeing with the pants. Kind of wish we would have seen some corduroy overalls. I'm not exactly sure if Polartec is what I'm looking for in an overall, though. Once again, they match the tops of the Polartecs. The colorways match the Polartec tops, so we got some cool colorways here at least. Yeah. I guess also point out these pants and then another pair, the Toshio ones. I think they translate pretty well on the pants back here. I think this design does. And then also like this one, I talked about this earlier. This front and center graphic. I think this had a lot of potential on these pants, though I wish they did the like double knee pattern a little bit different. I think that kind of ruined it, but I think this pattern had a lot of potential on some double knee pants, but they just missed out. As far as shorts go, also, you're not really seeing any shorts of any interest because of, we're going into fall winter. And then that brings us to the tees. We have the Pharaoh Sanders tee, which actually Supreme released a video, which, I'm sure this stemmed from, I want to say a year ago, and yeah. We got that tee. Moving forward, we have the Tire tee, which is, once again, reminds me of some like anti-social stuff. This isn't really something I would expect from Supreme. Maybe like Palace, where it's a little, Supreme does do this playful stuff, but yeah, it just kind of seems left field for Supreme. You have this one, the Nuova Nork tee, kind of a interesting, like voting themed almost. The Stay Positive tee. You got this positive stuff on the back. The Balloons tee, which I think if you're going for a Balloons designed graphic t-shirt, I would definitely recommend going for the like inflator tee or whatever from Palace that's dropping this Friday. A lot better one in my opinion. We also have the Jet tee, which is probably my favorite graphic tee this time around from Supreme for this like fall collection that they're doing. It just has a jet crashing down, flames coming out of the cockpit, and this is Supreme. The Futura logo tee, Justice for All on the back. We have this like Captcha version 1, which once again, it just feels like left field for Supreme. Doesn't really feel like something you would see from them. Very playful though. It says like pick all the Supreme images. The Supreme For Lovers tee, For Lovers there, and Cupid in the center. Then you have this all over multi-logo tee, which seems like so many brands are doing this lately. Antisocial does this, FTP did this. It's just not something I think anybody, like, I don't think it ever looks that great. So I don't know. FTP has it coming up on a button up though. I think that's kind of cool. Waiting for that to drop. But all the t-shirt versions I've seen have just been kind of trash. And we're really gonna breeze through these hats because honestly I don't think there's really any hats that stand out to me. You're gonna get a lot of the same stuff we've already seen, and then stuff that just matches the tops we've looked at. Really, there's, like I said, not anything that stood out to me, I don't think. So I guess we'll go back, get that one for you guys, and then we can go forward. A lot of trash for the beanies, in my opinion. The Smurf one is a standout one that I thought was kind of cool. And then the big logo one, the ice one, was alright, I guess. The big logo one, which should be coming up, I guess after these, but the cross box logo beanie, the cross box logo as a design does not transfer onto beanies at all. These are hideous. I think that's disgusting. The visor beanies, Everlast one, and here we go. The big logo beanie. I think it was kind of cool that they added the plaid patterns. Maybe it doesn't look the greatest in like the blue and green, but the black and red plaid one's kind of cool that they added. Cool addition to some outfits. I feel like you could add that to some cool, quieter Supreme pieces to pull together a cool winter outfit. And I also really like these balaclavas. Usually the Supreme balaclavas are a little bit more on the pricey side, I want to say, though these seem like some cheap ones. Like this can't be that expensive to make. It is a New Era blank, You can see that New Era logo on the side, but I do like these. They're a cool piece. I've been trying to get my hands on a Supreme balaclava for a while. We have the second batch of hats, the Velour S. Nice hat there, but once again, not a whole lot sticking out for the hats. We had some corduroy back there, floral print one, which is kind of nice. That like woodland pattern, I guess you'll call it, on a hat as well. And then we have the Tech Trooper, which is one that stood out to me. I do really like how they have this like face covering that goes across the front, and it's optional, kind of making you look like a Spetsnaz soldier or something like that. But I think these are cool. I like these. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on one of these. Then you have the faux fur Trooper, which matches that faux fur jacket we saw a while back. And that leads us into the bags, which I think the bags are kind of lackluster this season. I do like the very subtle Supreme branding along the straps, though. But other than that, I don't think the silhouette is that crazy. I think we've seen a lot better silhouettes. Also, the colorways, I think we've seen maybe some better colorways. We have like a cheetah or leopard print, and then this kind of like army drab green. But I think bags they're all right. I guess the sling bag's fine, but as far as a lot of the other silhouettes go, like this waist bag, not feeling this at all. The neck pouch, nah, I'm good. And then they're also doing a whole nother set of waterproof bags, which you have this backpack, comes in a blue, orange, and black colorway, using that speckled, like reflective pattern or colorway, I suppose, that we saw before. And then you're getting the like neck pouch and that pouch, and then another backpack. You're getting the canvas backpack, which takes the form of like a Jansport backpack almost. So hopefully a cheaper price point, I would wish, like I would imagine, for like such a basic piece like this, but you never know. Then you're also getting totes, so a ridiculous amount of bags this season. And that finally gets us into the accessories. You have this watch, which is probably going to be dumb expensive. You get this cool little Supreme lock pendant, once again dumb expensive. Supreme Mortal Kombat arcade game. Do I even have to say dumb expensive? Lipstick, which I like this. I think this is cool. You get the like actual lips on the lipstick. Cool touch. Comes in a cool box as well. You get the Supreme Cartel Tricks, which is a sofa bed seat with 3 adjustable polyurethane foam components. It's a bed. It's cool. You got like all over pills pattern on it, so kind of cool piece. You can see like the modular parts that fold. You get a fishbowl, which I almost would want it to be just like a globe or circular. It looks kind of like it's like a 3-dimensional cube with a depth where it's not completely round. And then one of the more interesting ones, you get the Supreme Colgate toothpaste, which a lot of people, they joke and say the Colgate logo is so similar to the Supreme logo, and they finally did it. And the madman, 9 out of 10 dentists recommend Supreme, so that 10th is out here not trying to cop this. Moving forward, we get the Chucky doll, which was teased a couple days ago as well. And we didn't see any other Chucky pieces, which I think hopefully we'll see some more stuff that drops alongside this. I think it'd be kind of lame if they didn't capitalize on this. As far as Supreme branding goes, you have Supreme down Chucky's sleeves, which is kind of cool, and then also obviously the Supreme kind of like checkered overalls. We've seen a pattern exactly like this done by Kith before. But yeah, cool piece. The jerry can, a lot of Supreme-esque items. A cool silhouette or type of lamp used here. The vase, the watch plate, which is kind of cool. I much prefer this than the jacket we saw. Microphone, some folding chairs, a projector, which I think is an interesting one. Step stools, a basketball, some cards. I really like the see-through cards. Some binoculars, which were supposed to drop in a prior season but got pushed back to this one. The pipe wrench, which is kind of underwhelming. I think the Supreme branding could have been bigger on that. Swarovski Zippo, so really cool Zippo. Kind of sucks that they added the crystals, gonna raise up the price. Mini flask, a knife, Power Station Go, headlamp, some name tags, phone case, which I think is kind of tacky. The Hydro Pack stash bottle, so it's collapsible. We're getting the Air Force Ones again, but it will probably sell out just as fast. All over print thermals, which I really like the all over print thermals this time around. I think last time they just did camo thermals, which the waistband was kind of cool on the pants, at least because it was red, which stood out against the camo. But this time around, you get a cool pattern, you know, the all over print. I appreciate this. I like that they did something a little bit more special than just change the color. We get a keychain, a retractable keychain, and then a webbing box logo keychain, some Stay Positive pins, and then decks. Interesting to note with these jet decks, like the jet shirt we saw earlier. For the deck, the plane actually changes. If you look, you know, you can notice that. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually do that for the t-shirts or not. I know they do usually put more effort into the decks, so we could just see the same one for the t-shirt. Then we have these camo logo skateboards, which I saw a lot of love and hype for these, but I think this looks really tacky. I think these look like some fake Supreme stuff that people would come up with. Moving on, we have the balloon skateboard, which I think works a lot better for the skateboard blank than the t-shirt. I like it a lot more on the deck. The Pills skateboard, which uses the same pattern as that bed did. As far as Supreme branding goes, all I can see on this, maybe the Pills have some fun branding on them too, but as far as I can see, you just have this small box logo down there. And then you got the Black Arc Cruiser, the skate tool, the trucks, and then this the wheels as usual, man. And then that's it. That finally brings us to the conclusion, almost an hour later, and you know, I think there's a lot of good stuff dropping this season. I've seen a lot of people hyping this season up, though I think there's a lot of things from this season that are kind of uncharacteristic of Supreme. You know, I think a lot of parallels in designs could be drawn between this Supreme season and Antisocial, which is something I don't think I would have said in a lot of prior seasons. I saw a lot of people saying that they're kind of leaning towards what people want this season. You know, people want like more box logos and stuff, so they're just doing kind of maybe more simple or like predictable designs rather than more Supreme-esque designs, like some stuff you'd normally see from them. But you know, as far as I think it goes, I think it's an all-right season. I always say, you know, a Supreme season is made or broke. You know, the collaborations make or break the season, I always say. So it'll be interesting to see the collaborations, as always. I think that's usually the most creative part of Supreme. Like, the best pieces come out of collaborations for the most part. But as far as lookbook pieces go, you know, we have some good ones for sure. I really like the bobsled one. I really like that bleed tee. Like, those are two that I'm probably going to go for. Yeah, very cool designs. This lips one, or this like smoke kissing one, is another one that's really cool. Though I'm not sure if I would rock this just because of the colorways. I think they could have done maybe some better colors for that. But that's all I got for you guys. If you did make it this far, that's you know, props to you. Thank you for watching all of this. Let me know what you guys think of the season, and as always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.